That's good.
Oh, thanks.
Memorising the shifts.
Yeah.
Because if you don't memorise the shifts, then by the time your brain's trying to figure out what the know what the notes are.
You can't play it by the time you've messed it up.
Yeah.
Would it be helpful to have a video that's just my left hand as I play it?
Be helpful to have you just playing it, but I think
it's on my YouTube channel. It's got all of book 1 to 6.
I
don't know if you could see. I mean, you'll be able to see the shifts, so maybe that would just be enough. Good. Okay, let's move on then. Wonderful. Well done, everybody.
Well tried. Well attempted.
Yes. lots of my students, I hadn't really clocked this until I had a bunch of book 5 students, are very intimidated by thinking that this piece lasts 10 pages.
Oh right, yeah.
Like, including Tilly, who's now like, I can't do it, I can't play a piece that lasts 10 pages. And I'm like, it doesn't last 10 pages, babe, it's 3 pieces. But it's all one piece. And I was like, yeah, but so's Vivaldi G Minor, and that would be almost 10 pages. But anyway, you know, just be aware that they can be quite intimidated by it. So you say, before you even look at the music, say like the next piece is 3 pieces in one, and we just treat it like 3 separate pieces, just like everything else. If you do it for a concert, you would probably just play the one movement that you want to, and we'll do 1-page credits, you know, unless you've got a real fast mover.
That
Just
makes me feel a little
everything
bit
else.
better.
Yeah, good,
Some
good.
of them was like, can we count how many pages in the previous 4 books, for goodness sake? It's like, you already know 10 pages.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need
Yeah.
10 pages by the end of book 1.
Yeah. By halfway through book 1.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, country dance. So we won't play it again because we played it this morning.
Okay.
I mean, we may play it again in a minute, but not right now.
On the string first, then off the string.
Excellent. How will you prepare for up-bow spiccato in terms of exercises? We've talked about the pieces. Let's just remind ourselves what are the pieces we're going to pull out to use for up-bow spiccato and staccato.
Long ago.
Good. And yes. And
Science.
Beethoven.
Oh,
Not
yes,
science.
a trio.
Beethoven trio. Yeah. And lots of twinkles.
I was wondering with this, if circle action helps you prepare for spiccato, not up necessarily, but like
Yeah, for spiccato, separate bows,
Separate
yes. I would say it does.
because it is kind of a circle action,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
removed further
yeah,
away from
yeah.
the string.
But we're not talking about that. We're just talking about that complete failure. That style. So how can we help them if you've got a child who's never played two or more ups off the string before? What would be the first thing you would do with them?
I would use long ago variation, and I would get them to do the lifts. If they've already done the circle action from the first piece, I would
Which
get
first piece?
in book 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get them to put that feeling into long ago.
Very good.
variation.
Very good. What about if they've played, which I hope they wouldn't, but I think quite a lot of them might not lift the both. They might just lift. So let's imagine that you get a student one way or another, whether they're yours or someone else's, who's not done repeated lifts. What are the exercises, not a piece, but the exercises that are going to give them that feeling?
I was into that minute bowing +1 thing, but I don't think that's.
I don't mean a
that's
piece.
not-
I mean, like
yeah,
what?
That's an exercise. Adding 1 to each. So, oops, try that. Okay. So, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting them to. That's not what we're looking at, though, is it? Because we're talking about coming off the string.
We are talking about
So,
coming off the string.
if I've
So
done
if
that
they could do
exercise,
that and they were playing,
then to go with the circle action with that exercise, but actually lift off the string. Or
yeah. So if you've got a child who just lifts, then that's fine, and that's most of mine in my experience. Most of them just, by the time they're in book 4, we've done so much light bowing that they don't have trouble getting off the string. But I think just even this can be really helpful for them to actually feel like there is the bounce. Do you want to describe it, Ryan? Let's stand up because it's yeah. I was just going to say that actually.
I was thinking about skipping stones, or
Yeah, nice.
maybe chalkboard this week, and then it kind of went. It was like, that's really cool, and it was like kind of spiccato.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, I think just even this, just can you feel the elasticity of both your string and at the balance point, your string and the hair of your bow. Yeah, and you can make it a little bit more with the fourth finger, which is how you're going to start your up bow spiccato. If you think about that first lift off is part of that same little finger.
Lift.
Yeah. And then you can do this. I probably have done this loads of times already. So then just add some.
So would you do it around the balance point, or would you
Yeah.
do it?
So the balance point's the most bouncy bit. So you'll have most success at getting off there. And then you can, once they can do that, you can. And I do that with adding the notes. And then. So you just repeat the second note until you are ready to go on, and then you put the last note in the normal place. Yeah, let's play it in 4. So when you do this game exercise, you definitely want to be aware of what you're doing with the time signature. So if we just play it we'll just play the first phrase as it is in the book. So feels in 2. Stop. Very nice. And now we're going to make it into 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost it. And then 6, etc., etc. And obviously you have to get faster as you put in more, otherwise you'll just end up. Do you want to do 6?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So think about the little finger bringing the first one off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change the time signature so that you've got loads. Are you alright?
Yeah.
That's it.
I remember someone doing something like you're finding the best balance point. Is that more for when you're doing the down up? And you go up the bow until you find the best spot? So
Yeah.
it's down up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a straight spiccato. And mostly it'll be around the balance point, and the trade-off between the benefits of both of how much you tilt are that if you tilt not at all, if you have a straight bow, then you've got maximum bounce and maximum harsh harshness of tone. So as you tilt your bow away, you lose the bounce, but you find a much nicer tone. So your students need to explore how far they want to.
But does that change again as you move?
Yeah, I'm just talking straight spiccato.
Oh, okay.
Because you have more bounce here, further away,
That's
right?
control.
Well, what do you mean more bounce?
As in the bow just bounces more here because it's further away from the tip.
Lighter.
So would it make sense to do more tilt towards the tip and less tilt at the heel?
I think you're running a big risk with the elbow going up if you're talking about tilting a lot of the tip. And the sound problem comes at the balance point because that's where it's so heavy and below. So I think up here is fine, really. It's this bit. It's that bit that you want to be careful with.
And when you say you need your pinky in the first one,
Yeah.
is it just active and that's it, or does it actually do?
Well, it's basically that to take it out of the string the first time. So that's another thing you can practice. Just that. Relax your elbow.
So it's releasing so that it touches, or what's?
Well, the release is easy, so they don't really need to think about that. The action is pressing down so that your bow comes out.
So it starts on the string then.
Yes. So your upright spiccato, the first lift off the string is the end of the first up. It's not that. Yeah. I would recommend using a 4 there because the string crossing just complicates everything in the right hand. Yeah. Down, 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 up. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. And of course you can add. Right, so,
Is the pinky doing a little push each time you're doing that?
no, just the first one and then you've got the
Momentum.
yeah,
Of
and the
speed.
bounce of the bow.
This
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Buffering!
Puppies.
I was just going to share, as someone pointed out to me, it's very weird. Apparently English is the only language that calls the little finger pinky, and we don't all have pink little fingers, do we?
Isn't it supposed to be based on
Oh,
the
my
Dutch
goodness.
word for little finger or something?
I
That's
don't,
what heard.
I don't know, but you know, it is, in every other language they just call it the little finger, like whatever that is in that language. Yeah, so
It's like pinkish.
it's like pinky, it's pinkish.
Pink
Use your
basics.
pinkish. Anyway, so right, in terms of the spiccato, so do you feel kind of confident about how you're going to set them up to be ready to do lots of oboe spiccato?
I feel like I need to practice it, but you've given
But you know the steps,
Yeah.
yeah? And obviously that is a massive preview
Oh,
if you want them to play this piece off the string, like either the first time they do it or soon after. It's up to you whether you teach it on and then come back ages later. I really do hope that you will teach it off eventually because it's a great favourite and everyone wants to play it fast, and once you play it fast, if you haven't taught them up this spiccato, it's just a mess. Or they've taught themselves.
Yeah.
I have
So-
another question.
Yes.
How tight should your bow be compared to normal?
Oh no, the same as normal.
Same as normal.
Little finger width in the middle is what I say to mine. I think yours could probably go a bit tighter.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's good.
Too tight.
Yeah.
I've been getting tighter and tighter. ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's like, hold on, wait.
Yeah.
There still should be a curve in a bow.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's quite mild.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it is slightly personal choice, and it is depends on the bow. Good. So the left hand makes this up bow spiccato much more complicated, doesn't it? Because it's a bit like Gossec. It's like the double whammy of difficult technical things along with just difficult notes. So the way that you want to set up for the shift, let's do I play, you play. So this is literally what I was doing with whoever it was I was teaching this to yesterday. So before we play, we just do a review of the shift sort of setup, and it's very similar to the shift setup for. So they're kind of used to like, okay, let's just do the drills. Here we go. So my turn, your turn. Let's do 5 in a row. One more. Good. My turn. Ready, play. Keep going. Make sure your thumb is where you want it to be. Good. And then my turn. Add your guide note on an up bow. My turn. And then gradually you get rid of that guide note. But by the time mine start playing the notes as they are in the piece, they're still playing. So they keep that extra note in for the guide note for ages and ages and ages, because I want them to use it even when they're not playing it. If you slide on the one, you'll have a lot better chance of the F sharps being in tune. And then you've got a blue finger pattern, and your first finger is just ready as long as you change that fingering, and then you go to a 2 in second and third position after that. And then I stay and come down there. Let's play it. So with the guide note.
So I'll practice the third finger, should you?
Yeah. So it's up to you. You don't have to change it, but I do recommend it. Yeah. And then the other stage that some kids need is that, because that finger pattern is sort of, you know, otherwise you can get that, you don't get a clear semitone. Yeah? Yeah. And then of course they have to do that lots and lots of times. So it's a gym box, if you want to talk about those, you know, like you do sets of 10 or sets of 8, 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 8, something like that. Not just 10 times. Good. Let's sit and put on. So, up bow staccato at first, and then up bow spiccato later. And that and shifting are the main points of this piece.
So say again, so
Up bow staccato first, and then up bow spiccato later. And that and the shifting are the main teaching points of this piece. And then I also have tone, boxes, shifting we've already said, memory and intonation. They just chains me, don't they?
You know when the
Nothing else to do.
In your coat? In your pocket? In your hair?
kids might
Become later. Shifts, tone, boxes, memory, intonation.
Yeah.
Can we recap now that we're sitting down for different exercises for
Yes, absolutely. So just letting the bow bounce in different parts of the bow and finding, you know, just getting used to what that feels like.
Near bounce point.
And in the middle and in the tip. We didn't do that, but I would recommend you do. No, there needs re-hairing. And then using the review pieces or twinkle to just get your those lifts. You're thinking about the pink, the little finger bringing the first up out of the string, and then it's momentum that makes it bounce after that. You don't want to play this. Yeah? That's the first lift.
So would you just practice the first lift kind of around the top sticker?
They probably weren't enough stickers by book 5, but upper half, yeah. So, yeah, like we were doing. And then you can add as many as you want. So you can do the minuet, add a note game, add an up. I've never really done that. How does it work? Minuet 1.
No, long ago.
No. The one
The one
that
I
you
did.
showed me. That wasn't long ago because I used long ago all the time.
Twinkle, put twinkle. But with,
I find that just really hard.
yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, but in terms of timing, not in terms of the bowing.
Taking it slow enough so that
Yeah.
they can, by the time they get to the end, you do 25.
Yeah.
And it's okay to slow it down as you go through so they can
Yeah.
get them. But I tend to do it when I introduce the finger articulations.
I think it's probably better for on the string because you're going to have to go so fast for spiccato that you can't count it and you can't settle into the time signature like you do with the twinkles or long ago because you're adding on every time.
So I guess you can do that as preparation for learning this piece on the string.
Yeah.
And then tell them about the differences and how that's different.
Yeah. Perfect.
When we're doing in 2,
Yeah, it's been cool.
it's 2 ups. When we're doing in 3, it's 3 ups, or is it 6 ups?
6 ups.
So we start with 2, then we jump to 6. Is that right?
No, well it's 4 because it's
Okay.
yeah, no, it's not 6. Sorry, it's 4 because the first beat's always down bow. 1, 2, 3. So it's 4 up bows, and then 4 is 6 up bows.
Okay.
So it's always the time signature minus 1 beat or 2 quavers is the number of up bows you're doing. So when we were doing 5, you were actually doing 8 up bows. 1, 2, 3, 4, first note's always a down bow.
So in 2 we've got down, up, up.
Yeah.
So 2, 3 we've got -3, is it?
No, it's always -2 because you
Minus
just take out the first down bow, which is 2 quavers.
Yeah. So
So 3 is 4 up bows. 4 in 4 is 6 up bows. In 5 is 8 up bows. In 6 is 10 up bows. Oh, the game I didn't show you, which is also quite fun, is Perpetual Motion. Etc. And you can also start at the tip and just see how many you can fit in, and then do down bows. That's better on the string. Just turn around when you run out. So that's good in group because it doesn't matter when they change, because the notes don't change.
But isn't that a bit? It's a bit like the minuet twinkle +1, isn't it?
Yeah, on the string. Whereas the slur and the up bow spiccato is good for. Sorry, the slur and then the up bows with perpetual motion is good for up bow spiccato. Okay. If you're using colours for shifting, I have adapted it slightly that if you have a wobbly line, it's an extension. So I think it's helpful for them to realise that the 1-1 section in this bit here, they're not going into second position and then coming back into third, they're just doing like a low 1. And same here, they're not really shifting, it's an extension. It's very difficult for them not to do a big bow at the bottom of that scale. And us. That's what you hear all the time. So you have to really practice. Elegance and grace. You want the 4 up bows in 28 to be off the string. Da, 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 da.
Sorry, what's that?
4 up bows in 28 and also directly underneath them in 32 and also 32 and 33 rather and 37. You know, all of those 4s. Sorry. Off. All of that's off as well.
So, if you haven't taught spiccato first time, or you should teach spiccato for those 4
Yeah, I would teach it off
first time.
from the start. It's easy for them, and also it's a good way to sort of get them comfortable with that. They love up bow spiccato. I mean, they're so excited to learn it because it's like a proper show-off thing to do, and it's really fun in your body, I think.
Marcy says it sounds like little kisses.
Yes, so cute. Oh. What piece is that? Right, so be careful that you count the beginning in 3, not in 2, like 6/8. You hear lots of students play ya da 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 da, and then it's like a real jerk at bar 5. So 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1. So you have a slight emphasis on the second of those 3s if they need it to keep the timing, and then you can drop it as they go.
I don't really understand. So it goes
Familiar
1,
with it.
2.
So if you're thinking about the time signature, the downbeat and the second beat are rests, or rather are at the end of the piece. Dum dum dum. So on the beat, the only note that we've got on the beat out of those 3 is the D in the first 3. But because of how it looks, lots of people will play as if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then
Yeah.
that's really weird and
Yeah.
disjointed.
So if you put a kind of
So
the emphasis comes on the middle note.
yeah, but only not for performance, only so that they can learn it with the right feeling and then they can even it out.
What is the spiccato sign?
There isn't one.
It doesn't exist.
Spic is what people will write if they want to say.
A little arrow like that, what does that mean? Like, or maybe it was the other way around, or something.
Oh, the hat.
That's
yeah,
marcato, isn't it? Or was that the dot?
It wasn't an
Marcato
accent.
is
Yeah.
usually
Is that fat looking?
a line and a dot, but lots of these things are not like fully.
I think
That's a
it's
sort of
like a
that's a
V
sort of
hat.
short, very short accentuation, not really an accent, but.
Okay.
Um,
And the hat one?
oh, sorry, I
If
thought that
it
was
was
the one
that
that
way
you were
round.
talking to. Just move your finger. I don't think this exists
Yeah, no, this
because it's too much like that's the one that's a short
accent. Okay.
accentuation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's marcato. Because I thought there's another one that's got like a fat apostrophe, like almost like a little dart.
Can you draw it for us?
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean marcato is, you can say it's marcato, but marcato tends to be a lot of notes in one that are
The first
marcatos.
one is- It's like a fat kind of.
Not a breath.
No, above each note. I've seen that before, but anyway.
I don't think I know what that is.
Yeah.
We can Google musical signs, symbols.
Musical symbols for bowing.
But yeah, if they want to state that it's got to be spiccato, we'll just say spic
Okay.
on it. It's like the only way that they can state it's going to be marcato is to write marcato, because the different signs are used in different ways by different editors. So it's only guaranteed if you actually write the note, the word. Okay, so the B section, what is the structure of this piece? Let's just talk about that for a moment.
ABA.
No, well, yes, very broadly. Yes, it's a sandwich. It's definitely a sandwich, structure, but in a little bit more detail than that.
So A variation, B variation, I suppose, with the second ending. A.
Nope.
No.
This is why it's worth talking
It's got this
about.
bit that comes back again.
Introduction. I would say, introduction, A section, or you can just call it the A
Oh, I thought
section.
he was asking about this bit.
Yeah, that is what we're about to get to.
Oh,
So
okay.
if we take the first half of the first page, or
Right.
most of the first page as the A section, either you can talk about it being like an intro and then the A
But
section.
the ba-ba-ba-ba only comes once, right?
No,
no,
it's exactly the same.
twice.
Shush you. It's exactly the same from our tempo to the Fine.
Okay.
It's exactly the same music as the first page. It's like a dark acro. So very broad brushstrokes. A B A in slightly more detail. A B B C C. Sorry, A B C C B A. Yeah. A B Symmetrical.
But in music,
Yeah, there is one.
there isn't one.
There is one. C.
Oh dear, I can't remember what the word is. Buffering. Rondo form is like Vivaldi G Minor. What is it? Palindrome structure. Palindrome structure.
No, I'm just looking at
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
music.
Strophic sonata form. I think it's sonata form, isn't it?
No.
This says
AA.
strophic, which is just like A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
Sonata form, which I think is when it's symmetrical. Theme and variations, minuet and trio, and rondo are the most basic forms.
Retrograde is if it's like every note is the same forwards and backwards.
That's some weird contemporary stuff, right? Sonata form is a musical blah 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 blah.
So I thought sonata form was A, B, development,
Theme,
exposition.
theme two in a different
Restate.
key, development, recapitulation. Yeah, so it's like it's the
Sonata
AVA is sonata form.
B in this case being B and
The
C.
whole
B and C.
section, B and C.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure that strophic just means
B, C, C, B.
yeah, strophic
Yeah,
just
yeah,
means different things every time.
Which is
Okay,
confusing.
let's write this down because this is actually very helpful. So the most your standardised classical music forms are strophic, strophic. Where am I going to write this down? I'm going to write this down.
I've not heard the word strophic before.
Oh no, me neither. Can we think of a piece that we play that is strophic?
Explain what strophic is.
A, B, C, D.
B, C, D. No, I can't think of anything. I was going to say Gavotte Mignon because of the coda-like ending, but no.
That might be in book one.
It's very unusual in classical music. I think there is one, but I can't think what it is now.
Normally there's some kind of recap.
Kate's running through the pieces.
I am. No, there is nothing in book one. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in book two. And there's not
Well,
anything in
Musette doesn't end at the beginning.
Ah, yeah, maybe Musette.
But the whole thing repeats, right?
No.
That doesn't mean it's not strophic. You can
No.
have a repetition. Doesn't mean it's only one time. It means
But
it's
Musette
in
doesn't
the
repeat.
order. No, that's true.
Hunter's Chorus, maybe? Because you don't go, there's no da capo. Oh, there is. No, there's a repeat, but there isn't a da capo.
But that for
Okay, so moving on. Strophic,
maybe is that
A, B, C, D, etc. Sonata form, A, B, A. And it's got to only be A, B, A in the broadest sense, because if you become A, B, A, C, A, what would that then be?
Well done.
Exactly. Well
but
done.
ABCDA also counts as sonata form.
Yeah, as long as the A is at the beginning and the end, and there hasn't been anything that isn't repeated. Theme and variations.
Which one was that? Wait, I feel like I missed something. Strophic sonata and then.
Theme and variations.
No, rondo.
Oh well, I haven't got to it on this list yet, but rondo is A, B, A, C, A, D, A, etc.
That's
The most famous
Martini
example,
Vivaldi.
Martini, yeah. Minuet and trio. Oh, scherzo and trio, it says here. I'm not going to write that on this list.
Do we have an example of theme and variations? Yeah.
La Foglia. I mean, long ago, sort of, but it's not really variations. But yeah, those are the two.
Martini.
Sonata rondo. My brain is not equipped for this today. The rondo concept can be combined with the harmonic plan of sonata form, tonal exposition, development and recapitulation to create the hybrid sonata rondo form, where the A section is actually A, B, A, then the C section becomes what would be the B section, and then the A, B, A comes back.
There's a piece in level 2 that does that. I left my teaching points at home.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it depends how deep into the piece you want to go for your structure. Lots of pieces do that, like Happy Farmer.
No, it's about 3, 3. 3 please. So I remember looking at it and going, okay, this is doing my head in. Because you could look at each section as a section in the middle bit.
Is it book 3, did you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you sure it's not Mignon?
No, because to me the ending is a coda.
Anyway, let's move on. If you remember, you can tell us.
Yeah.
Good, okay. So, country dance. This is not the fingering that I learned when I was a kid. I don't know if you, but it's, I think, much better. So I do follow the fingering that's written in the books. Apart from, I do not think it's kind or achievable to go on to a second position 2 on a C sharp in the last beat of 27. So I play second position for ages, first position, high third position, rather than I don't know why. I mean, it's, you know, it's the age-old debate. Do you want to make it harder so they practice something so that it will be easier for them when it comes in an unavoidable way, or do you want them to take the easy option so that they can learn the piece in a satisfying way and cross that bridge when you come to it?
Right, because the second time it comes up, they do actually put it in third, second.
I was going to say, also, you have to do it in third position the second time because you're going into third position, so why would you do 2 separate fingerings apart from just to make your life difficult?
I can't go. I didn't even realise that wasn't the same. I've just been doing it in third position.
So that's what I'm recommending you do.
Okay. Just try that again, Joanna.
And then a little bit of half position in 34. Just put a 2 on it. You don't need to practice all of these slidey ones. Then third position, second position, first position, half position, third position, stop. It's nice when you do the repeat to put an echo in. It's not actually marked. But if you do want to do that, you can keep your bow on the string. Did you get me? First time. Hook.
hook for the first beat.
Yeah. Looks like we spelled echo with a K.
Well done.
Can't be having that. Right. Happy about how to teach this?
So no circle.
If you want to do an echo, yeah.
Okay.
And definitely make sure that you are calling it a retake by book 4 and 5.
Open circle.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of my things. I think that if the children are clever enough to play the violin, they're clever enough to learn the word retake from the very beginning. But I completely understand if you want to call it a circle, but do make sure that you transition into age-appropriate language, because if they go to orchestra and they say, "Oh, that's a circle," at school, I mean, not here, you know, people are going to be like, "What?"
Really?
Yeah, it's not a technical term, it's a Suzuki thing for little kids. Any other questions?
How do you do this agitato?
Just go a bit faster.
Okay.
That's basically what it means.
So go.
Anxious. Get
Yeah,
anxious.
yeah. like do what you did in the bath, upper retakes, and it'll be fine.
Useful.
So the exercise on 28 you can use. I don't use this at all, to be honest. I just write it in their books, but it is kind of helpful for them to see. You want to change the 2 to a 1. Sorry, the 3 to a 1 in the third bar. And I would add an up bow so that your page looks like that. Because you want to keep them doing that note when they're playing the piece for a while. So they have to use an up bow, otherwise they'll be upside down for the bowing. Yeah?
Yeah.
Unless they add it to the down bow slur. It's just a bit weird.
No, you don't want them to do that. You'll never get rid of it. Right, we're going to do the practice suggestions for Veracini next time. Well, we might get through Veracini. We'll probably start it and not finish it annoyingly. Anyway, right, German dance.
Should we play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Right, before we play it, we're going to talk about this horrible extension and how to make it lovely. Guide note. So, play position. And you've got it ready for the next bit. So they practice. And when you play it, like for a performance or something, you still do exactly the same thing, you just keep your bow on the D string while you're getting your guide note there. So it's like 2 semiquavers, but then your bow just comes over once you've got it. Yeah? Obviously that will help straight away. Right, let's play. Just use the music if you don't know it. It didn't work for me that time. to play on a tiny bow if you've got a twinkle bow, or you
I've got
can
some
just
pegs.
go to the cupboard and get a tiny bow,
I've got pegs.
or you can get pegs. It's fun. Be careful with pegs. If you've got a child on an expensive instrument, if they hit the peg, they might actually
Yeah. I wouldn't
damage the bow. So just
play a
be,
piece like this with somebody who I haven't done that before.
yeah.
Yeah.
So lower half bowing, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast. Where else have we had that?
Two melodies. No.
Not really. It's got to be a piece in three, hasn't it?
No.
We haven't got severity yet. It's next.
Yes.
A waltz.
Oh, it's
Waltz.
it's getting there.
Sorry, I'm just aware of the time.
All day.
This is the first piece in E flat major. Whatever. But we've done lots of G minor, which is very similar to C minor, which is the relative minor of this piece, so it's not an unfamiliar finger pattern.
If that major. Slow fast bows.
Elegance.
Waltz.
Are these your tick boxes?
I'm going to give them to you now. So yeah, lower half bowing, and I just put slow fast down, up in a bracket. Elegance, boxes, vibrato, intonation. Sorry.
Boxes.
Vibrato? Yep. Intonation and memory. Why do you think vibrato's on that list?
Because it's an easy piece.
Yes.
Is it what piece?
It's an easy piece.
Oh, okay.
But also, it's quite possible for them to play. And just kind of not think about it. So it's good to practice that, congruenza, elegant little touches of vibrato here and there.
Where would you put the vibrato? Is it like
End of the phrases.
Well, definitely at the
First
end of the
beat of the
phrases. Yeah. Most of it. But definitely. All of that. You've got two little brushy off strokes in the end of 33, 35, 40. One.
what do you mean? Just that.
Yeah.
These ones. Light.
I mean, I'd be very surprised if you have an end of book 5 student who's not just doing that, but just watch out for it. You might want to put shifting in as a tick box. Depends.
Yes, because it's not necessary to the piece. So you kind of have to really actively put that in there. Because you can play this without shifting.
Yeah.
Wouldn't sound bad.
I don't mean it's an option. I mean
Yeah.
whether they need to put a tick box for it will be whether whether shifting is something that they find tricky still or not. Like lots of mine don't have a shifting box for this piece because they can just do it. They're very comfortable in second and third position, so it's not a problem. Extension they might have a tick box for, but it's in a box, so that's why I haven't put it separately.
Excuse me.
But it's kind of up to you. But mostly it's just a really nice little ditty to make you feel like book 5 is not just massive challenges all the way through.
So quick one.
Did you just go off?
Yes. I think we should probably do Verratini next time. Should we have lunch now instead?
That's cool as well.
Yeah, well that's partly because it's going to take me 15 minutes to go through how I approach the chords, and then we will have only done half of it, and I'd rather just do it all in one go, I think. Very nice. Shall we play it to finish? I'm just going to go and tell the others we're a little bit earlier than we planned.
Gorgeous.
Alright. I'll just do rubbish here. I'll do good work.
Can't hear it.
You have to be together to get the buzzing.
Bit high. Can you hear the pulsing yet? You can't tune them separately. You won't be able to hear when they're right. Happy with your E? Most people find the pulsing impossible to hear on the E. I just say to my students, does it sound lovely? Would you like to listen to it for a long time? And if they say yes, then it's fine. And if they say no, then we change it. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Right, ready for your pre-lunch workout. Oh, one thing I forgot to say before. Obviously, the lower half lifted bow strokes are getting you ready for Veritini in piece in German dance.
In a what?